All right, so let's get into the star of the division. They're always the star of division because they're the New York team. They're the big market team. They're the team that is always, the equivalent of the same team that's on my head right now. They're like the Brooklyn Dodgers of the NFL in a sense. But Brooklyn was even better than what the Jets have put out. You know what I mean? The Jets have been a bad team for a long time, Jeff. And I think that we had one little time in the last 30 years where they were somebody relevant. And that's when Rex Ryan was there trying to be the biggest star on the team. And now we have the same situation going again. It's almost deja vu all over again. I feel like Saleh is like Eric Mangini. Aaron Rodgers is Brett Favre. And I remember the Jets, it was a big deal. It was a big deal. Wasn't Revis still with the Jets at that time?
Rebus
Yeah,
Island.
yeah, Revis Island was still there at the time. Um, and they had all this big hype going into the season and all these expectations, and they wanted to sign every big name that there was in the NFL to make sure that their fans were happy and that they were showing that they were trying to be a sufficient NFL team and all that good stuff. I feel like the Jets really shot themselves in the foot, to be honest with you. I know this is very unpopular, but I like Zach Wilson. I think the kid is good. I just thought your coach was bad. The guy that was throwing out his plays to him. Also, I felt like he had no playmakers there with him as well either. But when he had Brees Hall there, he made life a lot easier for Zach Wilson. And that is what the Jets need to move forward to be a great team this year. I keep trying to get people to understand. I know y'all want it to be a pass, and pass some more league. But Jeff, like I know, there's certain teams that have traditions on how they're really good teams. And some teams like the Dolphins, they're really good when they're passing, when they got a elite quarterback. They're awesome. You know what I mean? Because the weather, all that stuff calls for it. And when the Browns, they've rarely been good over the last few 30 years, but when they were a superior team in the NFL, they had a great running game. And every time they're a team that's relevant in the NFL actually winning games, they have a great running game. So I'm just going off the fact that teams have certain traditions to it that fit their teams. It's just that's going to help their team go. And the Jets are the type of team that need to have a great running back. The John Riggins of the world, the Curtis Martins of the world. And they can make this thing go for this team. Sean Green, when he was there with LaDainian Tomlinson, they were a good team. They were a team that you actually had to take a little seriously. The Jets' biggest thing for them, their defense has to stay intact. Their defense is going to have to carry them most of the year because Aaron Rodgers is not the Aaron Rodgers from 5 years ago. You're dealing with the 40-year-old man now, and he's not like Brady because Brady actually keeps putting in the work, was actually putting in the work every summer. This goofball goes off and does retreats and does, regular people stuff. And everybody was getting blamed in Green Bay but him. But now we're out of Green Bay, and now you have to be accountable. It's that simple. And I feel like he is going to be the biggest detriment to this team. That's why I'm like, Zach Wilson, get ready. Because Rodgers is one snap away from the season being over. He's very fragile. I wouldn't say injury prone, but he does seem to break things pretty easily. And he's at the age now, you're not going to be able to move forward with a broken toe. Okay? So I truly do feel this Jets team is all air, very gassed up, in my opinion. Now, I think they're doing too much, giving them 9.5, Jeff. So I'm going to have to go ahead and say they're going under. They'll probably win 9 games this year, maybe. But they're going under 9.5 games easily, and they're not winning a division championship. They can make the playoffs. They can sneak in, maybe, but they're not winning this division, though. I don't have them winning this division at all, because I just feel like you're not going to be able to beat the Patriots. You're not going to be able to beat the Bills, and you'll probably have you'll probably Dolphins could be a sweep because you've had their number, but Dolphins can beat you too. So there it goes again, another 3-3 team possibly, Jeff. But they're more like a 2-4 team in conference to me. Your thoughts?
I agree with what you're saying. They're gonna go as far as Brees Hall takes them, because it's all about the start of the season. They open up at home. I think it's Sunday night against the Bills. Bills are now -2, 2.5 in some spots. So, like I said, with the Patriots and Eagles, even though it's not a divisional game, if Rodgers and company at home, the big stage, big spotlight, lay an egg, Buffalo makes a statement. Well, here we go. And I think then they travel to Dallas the second week. They do not have an easy start of the season. So Aaron Rodgers, who's a big front runner, starts the year 1-4, 2-5. Well, thanks for playing. Now, I read today that they think Brees Hall will be ready for week 1. Their defense, they need to recreate the New York Sack Exchange, the Kleckos of the world, the Gastineaus of the world when they were big and they were playing well. So I'm not buying the sizzle here. 9.5, I think it's a decent number. I could see 9 and 8 all day. If they get out to that 4-2 start, well, then they'll probably get up and over this number. I'm not buying it. 9.5 is a great number. Today, I'd say under 9.5. Division champs, no thanks. I mean, Garrett Wilson is ready to take on and be Devontae Adams for Rodgers. They brought over Lazard, they brought over Cobb, they brought a couple of his old toys with them. I think Garrett Wilson has a big year, and again, if Brees Hall can stay healthy and their defense plays well, they'll be competitive with Rodgers, but there's a lot of ifs there. If Brees Hall comes back too early and he gets hurt again, no, because Rodgers got to throw the ball 30, 40 times a game. He won't be standing upright, and he can't move. He doesn't look to run 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 yards. He'll just throw it away and shake his head like it was someone else's fault. So I'll go under the 9.5 and a big no for division champs.
And see, that's my thing. It's like he was able to get away with that type of behavior in Green Bay because they was Messiah, OMG, we need you. But in New York, bro, if it's on you and they see it's on you, they're going to tear you up. And can you handle that? That's the whole thing. Varv thought he could handle that, couldn't handle that. Sanchez thought he could handle that, couldn't handle that. And looking at and knowing who Aaron Rodgers is right now, he's probably not going to be able to handle that either at the end of the day. So it is what it is. And what we're going to do real quick, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when I get back, we're going to go through the NFC East because I know Jeff is excited about that one. So much to talk about with the NFC East. You know what I mean? Because, Eagles, Cowboys, New York Giants, and the Washington, we're going to say the Redskins, okay, just so we can be right about it. But we know this is the media division. Everybody should always know this is the media division. It doesn't matter how bad the NFC East is going to be. The media is always going to cover it because they have the 4 biggest syndicates covering any type of news. You got the Philly paper, the DC paper, the New York paper, and the Dallas paper, and all the tri-state area papers. So there it is. All right, so you guys stay tuned. This is the NFL Bet Exchange with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper, and Mr. Jeff Dawson.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West,